It's not that LeBron feels the Lakers need Carmelo Anthony. It's that LeBron, from what I was told, he was very upset and offended by how situations have been handled in Houston with Carmelo Anthony. He feels that he's being scapegoated and stained and sullied to some degree. Dwayne Wade feels that way as well. They did not even consult with CP3 before making the call that they made because they were, Daryl Morey is exceptional as he is. Let's call it what it is, Max. They run that organization by the numbers. The numbers tell them a lot about what they want to do, what they should do, et cetera, et cetera. Any way you slice it, Carmelo Anthony believes that LeBron believes that Carmelo is being scapegoated and stayed. So as a result, he wanted to see what he could do. Now, you do have folks out there who have stated LeBron doesn't really want Melo. He just wants to make it look like he wants Melo. That's not exactly the situation. It's not that he's salivating to get Melo to L.A., but if Melo is in shape and ready to ball, LeBron would embrace that. But the primary reason he would embrace it is because he got love for his brother, and he doesn't appreciate the way that Carmelo has been treated, more so than for just basketball reasons. That's the situation, Max.
Look, it seems to me, and by the way, Stephen A., you're highly credible. When you have reported things, they come true, like they are predictive in terms of the actual news that then breaks. I have also talked to some people and heard similar things that it's LeBron's kind of sentiment toward Carmelo and the way he's been treated more than anything else. But you know what, and I understand that personal loyalty and the sense that a guy has built a certain legacy of excellent play. There's even an article recently about Carmelo Anthony's beautiful game offensively and how, the league changed out from under his feet and it doesn't work anymore. And so his kind of beautiful brand of basketball, even as ISO basketball, which is not often referred to as beautiful, but he really does make it that way, is ineffective. The problem I have with that basic sentiment toward Carmelo is it's like, I know NBA players, it's not like the NFL. They can't just, get rid of you when you're no good anymore. But it makes the NBA less meritocratic. The reason Carmelo isn't working right now is because he's not good enough. If he was good enough, he'd have a job. I mean, the fact is, and that's why I said he should go to China or go overseas to some big market where he could put his beautiful brand of ISO ball on display because it ain't working anymore. Now, I'm not saying he never won or you could never build a winning team around Carmelo or he wasn't once a great player. I understand that he was. But teams that got rid of him usually got better. Even the Denver trade, they got much more depth, and eventually Masai Ujiri turned that into a winning team, a team very tough to beat at home. He goes to the Thunder, what happened? I mean, even the Knicks, by the way, when Ling was balling out and then, Carmelo's a ball stopper. No, he's not. Carmelo comes back. They stopped winning, at least temporarily. He goes to the Thunder. Look what happened to them. Then he leaves. Now look at them. He goes to the Rockets. Look what happened to them. So LeBron may be sitting there going, hey, people are confusing correlation. Carmelo shows up and some stuff goes wrong. Maybe that's bad luck. With causality, Carmelo's causing it to go wrong, and he thinks his boy is getting a bad rap. But the fact remains, how much can Carmelo really help you? So the bottom line is the basic thought about what LeBron is doing is right. Well, he's trying to hook his boy up. He's just putting this out there to hook his boy up.
Max, let me break a few things down because I want to get your response to it, and I need you to listen to what I'm about to tell you. From a basketball perspective, even though I disagree with you, I get where you're coming from. What I would say in response to that is that if LeBron is the greatest player in the world, and widely considered to be that way, not just because of his physicality, his basketball acumen, but the fact that he's been basically a point forward throughout his entire career since high school. The ball is in his hands. He's making decisions. So if he is the greatest, and he is that great, and particularly great when it comes to decision making, then obviously his presence, because of all it encompasses, would greatly benefit Carmelo Anthony. When I look at the Lakers and their makeup, I've told you before, only two players, and I'm not talking about Tyson Chandler and JaVale McGee because they're big men and we understand their purpose. But outside of those guys, I told you the only two people that are must-keepers on the Los Angeles Lakers is Kyle Kuzma and Josh Hart. Anybody else can go as far as I'm concerned because LeBron and the way that he plays, I don't think that game is beneficial to Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram. A guy like Carmelo Anthony, who's just looking to catch and shoot, particularly at this stage of his career, is beneficial. Here's where it gets interesting, Max, and I got to tell you this. Years ago, if you remember, there was a story that there was news, it was stuff that was percolating, and I was all over the story, but I just laid off of it and left it to, the guys doing insides on a regular basis because I'm hosting a national radio show, national television show. But, we see LeBron James, we see Clutch Sports and the great job that Rich Paul has done in accumulating clientele and, in concert with the Mark Terminys of the world, obviously being LeBron's guy, LeBron having something to do with that. There was an aspiration that existed for players to have essentially their own agency. It was supposed to be LeBron with KD, with CP3, with Melo. This is according to what I was told. CP3 and Melo basically backed out, essentially electing to stay with CAA. So what happens is LeBron, being the savant that he is, goes out on his own and does his own thing and does his own business. And the kind of things that have materialized for that are things that we'll be talking about for years and years to come because he's a pioneer and an innovator in that regard. But make no mistake about it, what's shocking to me is the reason why I'm bringing it to you is because what does it say to you? What should it say to me? What should it say to everybody? That even though from a business perspective, certain decisions that were made, you thought they were going to be made differently. Guys backed out. And as a result, here you are still looking to look out for one of your boys, who, by the way, I think can still play a little bit. I think Melo in the right situation can average 15 to 18 a game. All I'm saying to you is that the fact that LeBron would even want support for Melo out there, to me, speaks volumes about LeBron.